Hello, Krisha Patel, mute yourself. With the disturbance. So we were discussing different cycles in the programming. I'll just take a quick review. So we had G81, that is drilling cycle. Somebody is waiting. Aditya Kamble, Aditya Punjabi. Aditya Sawant is there? Is not there. Hello, Neeraj Jain. Hello. Hello. Hello, Neeraj. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hmm. You have received the syllabus though for the unit test. That is from the CAD. It will be module 1 and module 2, and from the CAM it will be module 3 and module 4. I think Aditya Sawant is not there. Hmm? Is the screen visible, Neeraj?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So G81 is nothing but the drilling cycle. This we have discussed. I'll just quickly recap it. Normal drilling. Then G82, it has a dwell facility at the bottom. Then G83 is nothing but the peg drilling cycle. Generally, this is used for longer holes. Then you have G84, that is tapping cycle, entirely different. So here the spindle will reverse in, and it will retract in feed. Here you have to remember that feed is equal to pitch of the thread or lead of the thread to be cut. G85 is the reaming cycle. So in reaming cycle, the tool is retracted in feed. so that the finish is not damaged. Then G86 is the boring cycle. So in G86 boring cycle, the at the end of the bore, the tool stops rotating. Then it uh, retracts little bit in radial direction, and then it is moved up rapidly. Then G87 is the back boring cycle. That is, you have a face at 0 degree on which you are doing operation. Now suppose if you want to do operations at 180 degree, that is counter bore you want to do at 180 degree, then you go for back boring cycle. So this is what we had discussed. Then G88, you are already familiar. G88, that is, in G88 the spindle will return uh, to the original position and not just R position. This is what is your R position, which is generally we keep 2 mm. Generally we keep R position 2 mm. In G88, it is returned to the main position, and as I said, what I was talking that was G98, and as I said, you have to remember only G81, G82, G83, G84, G85, G86. G87 is not important from examination point of view. G88 is again not important from examination point of view. What I just told that was G98 and G99. Again, G89 is not important from examination point of view. So this was the summary of the CAM cycle. So you have G80, G82, G83, G84, G85, and G86. These are the cycles which are important from examination point of view. G87, G88, and G89 you can skip from exam. So this is a comparative summary. Again, G73, G74, and G76 you have to skip because these are the cycles which are not as per the ISO standard. As per the ISO standard, these are the cycles which you have to remember. So G73, G74, and G76 are also used on some of the control, but these are not ISO recognized. These are not ISO recognized cycles. Like subroutine is nothing but like a sub program. That is a program within a program. So this saves you time as well as the length of the main program. It saves your time as well as the length of the program, and editing is also fast. Editing is also fast. And you can call subroutines or the sub program as many types as you want. Like say my program number is say P 1000 or O 1000, then I can call this program 2 times, 3 times, 10 times. If you are not using subprogram or subroutines, then you have to write the instructions 10 times in the main program. Subroutines is also called as the subprogram. So do not be confused in the examination if they ask what is subroutine or what is subprogram. It is nothing but one and the same. Hmm. Okay, so whenever a particular feature is repeated in the program, so that time you have to use this command. Like suppose a hole, a drill hole. Like suppose you want to drill a hole, say 10 holes at a distance of say 50 mm, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. So this repetition can be very easily done by calling subroutine or by writing in a sub program. So you don't have to give the instructions, 10 lines ka instructions you don't have to give. You can just give one line ka instruction. So this is how it saves your time. This is how it saves your time. Then there are methods, different methods to call the subroutine. Uh, that is called the call statement. So you can call either by L. So this is L001. So L001 means you are calling the subroutine which is mentioned or which is written against the sequence number 1, that is against the block number 1, and block number 1 to say block number 10. This will come to know when I'll give the example. Then you can end that subroutine by M70, by M70. This is a miscellaneous code. This is a end statement. Hmm. So call statement is L. So L is followed by the sequence number, or L is followed by the block number. And if you want to end, then you have to write M70. How to use it? I'll show you. Say now this is N10 G91. So G91 is nothing but the incremental. Alright. Then it has gone from the present position, it has gone down by 8 mm. So that's why it is G01 Z minus 8. And remember always G01 has to be followed by feed. G01 has to be followed by the feed 300, and obviously this 300 is nothing but 300 millimeter per minute. 300 millimeter per minute. Alright. So it will move to X40. In X direction it will move by 40 mm. In X direction it will move by 40 mm. Then in Y direction it will move by 40 mm. Then again minus 40. So it comes back to its original position. Now see, this is G91. So this is not with respect to origin, or it is not with respect to the program 01. G91 means incremental. G91 means incremental. So now at the end of this, it will come to its original position. Had it been G90, that is say absolute, then it would have gone to X minus 40. That means it would have gone to second quarter. And then rapidly we are lifting this GZA. See, remember, most of the times in subroutine you have to follow incremental programming. You have to do incremental programming in subroutine. And then once you lift it tool in rapidly at the position of 8 mm, then remember to write, that is remember to come back to your absolute position G90. Otherwise G91 is the model command, so it will remain effective. It will remain effective. So you are thinking absolute dimension, but the program will take incremental dimension because this G91 has not been changed by G90. And this M17 is nothing but the end of this subprogram. So now to how to call this subroutine in the main program. How to introduce subroutine in the main program. So this is what is my main program.
Sir?
Earlier was
Hello,
yes,
sir. Some
yes,
students are messaging in the group that they are not able to join.
okay, okay. Aditya Kamble, Aditya Punjabi, Aditya Samanda. This is good now when you are writing your names like this, no? Aditya. Otherwise, simply Aditya, it is very difficult to understand. Then I think Raj Bhosle, Raj Jain. Then Yash Kamble and Yash Mehta. Yash Kamble, you are joined after many days, I think.
No, sir.
No? Last,
No.
I think 2-3 lectures you are not there.
The last lecture, I think I was absent, but
Uh,
I'm attending the lectures.
last to last.
I don't remember, but yes, I'm attending
But
the
I
lecture,
remember.
sir.
At least
Yes.
last 2 lectures you were absent.
Yes.
Chalo. I'll come back to the presentation. So now uh, how to include subroutine in the main program. So this is what is your main program is G90, that is absolute coordinate. G71 is nothing but the metric input. G94 is nothing but the feed rate that will be taken in millimeter per minute. And if it is G95, then it will be millimeter per revolution. This is the spindle RPM, and M03 is nothing but the spindle rotation in clockwise direction. Spindle rotation in clockwise direction. Hmm. Then G00X50 Y50, that is the tool or the spindle will move rapidly. Here we are assuming that the spindle is moving, not workpiece is moving. We are assuming the spindle is moving. So G00X50 Y50. Then Z5, that is tool has come to 5 mm above the workpiece. Tool has come to 5 mm above the workpiece. And M08 is nothing but the coolant on. M08 is nothing but the coolant on. And M09 corresponds to coolant off. Now see L101. So this is what is you are calling the subroutine. You are calling the subroutine. Hmm. So this is the call statement. L101 is the call statement. Hmm. And here at N40 it will go to that subprogram which is given the number as 101, and it will execute. It will execute, and then it will come to the main program. Okay. So now in the main program, now what happens here? It X50 Y50. Alright. So it will perform the operation whichever has been given in this subprogram. Okay. In the subprogram, we also mentioned that it has to come up. Tool has to come up. You have to remember this. Now in the main program, go to the next position, next hold position. This is a simple dealing operation. So X120, Y120. Now again here we are calling uh, subprogram number 101. So again some dealing operations will happen here. Then 200. How many 4 holes are being done here? That is 50, X50, Y50, X120, Y120, X200, Y200, and then that is 1, 2, 3, and yeah, that's all. So three positions only. 1, 2, 3. 3 holes are being drilled, and then it comes back to is X0, Y0. So this is what is your is, and I'll show you once again the subprogram. So this was your subroutine. This was your subroutine. There is a provision to write the number here. Subroutine, that is 0101. That will be written here. 0101. So here what is happening now? See, in the main program X50 Y50, and then we are entered into the subroutine. So subroutine now it goes to incremental. Then it okay. So it goes down Z minus 8, X40, Y40, X minus. No, this is not a drilling program. This is a kind of a pocketing actually. I'm sorry, this is not a drilling program. On Z minus 8, then X40, Y40, X minus 40, Y. So this is actually a pocket. Pocket has been done, and then it returns to Z8 position and say G90 and M17. It will return, and then next it comes to the main program. So main program it will go to X. This program will be executed. At the end, it will return to Z8. Then again, it goes to the main program, that is 200 and Y8. Again, it will be executed. Fine. And it comes back to you. Remember, in the sub program, remember, this is very important. Remember, in the sub program, you need to lift the tool above the top surface of the workpiece. This care you have to take. That is one thing. And second thing, you have to write G90 absolute. You have to come to the absolute at the end of the subroutine. Hmm. Otherwise, what will happen? Suppose if you are not lifting the tool Z8, then it is inside only. It is inside only below the surface of the workpiece, and then it goes to the main program. So in the main program, you are given a rapid command G00X120Y20. So since the tool is at the bottom itself, and since this is rapid, it is trying to move rapidly, so either the tool will break or workpiece will break, whichever is weak. So that care you have to take. So this is what is actually disadvantage when you are flipping, between incremental and absolute, that is G90 and G91. So you should be very careful. Huh? Okay, so these are some instructions which are given to the programmer. That is what programmer has to do. Uh, that is, he has to study the drawing properly. What is the type of material? I'll full screen करता हूँ. That is, if you want to do a programming safe programming. Obviously, drawing करना है study बराबर. Material you should know what is the workpiece material, what is the tool material, so that he can use proper cutting speeds and fits. Then he should be aware of the machine, obviously, on which he is going to make the program. Then you have to select upon millimeter or inches. Nowadays, I will say not 99%, but 100% of the dimensions are in millimeter worldwide. Nobody uses inches now. Then selection of the coordinate system, how you are going to decide upon your program 0 point. Then plane of the cutting, whether you are going to cut in XY plane. Like suppose if it is a vertical milling, then obviously you are going to cut in XY plane. If it is a horizontal machine, then you are going to cut in XZ plane. If it is a horizontal milling machine, then it becomes your XZ plane. So that has to be specified. G17 is for XY plane, G18 is for XZ plane, and G19 is for YZ plane. So that selection has to be done. Then you should know what is the cutting speed, what is the cutting feed rates. You must know in millimeter per revolution, in millimeter per minute, or in millimeter per teeth. Huh? And number of teeth of the cutter, that you should be aware. G94, G95, you have to be careful. G94 is millimeter per minute, millimeter. G95 is millimeter per revolution. You have to decide upon the sequence of machining operations. That is the best sequence. Then subroutines, whether to go for the subroutines or just use main program. Just use the main program. So here now, so if you want to do a boring diameter of say 60 H7, now H7 means it gives you moment you look at H7, it gives you the tolerance for the whole base system. So what do you mean by whole base system and what do you mean by shaft based system? So when it is a whole base system, you are keeping the dimensions of the whole same, and you are changing the dimensions of the shaft. That is what is your whole base system. That means say H7. So on 60, the tolerance, if you go to the design data book, on 60 size, you will get the tolerance of 25 microns. On positive side, on plus side only. That is unilateral. So 60, it will be 60 plus 0.0 plus 0.025. That is what is 25 microns. So H7 is always unilateral on the plus side. So whatever dimensions or whatever adjustments you have to do here, you have to do it on the shaft. Why like this? Because any alterations in the hole is always difficult. Hole machining is always difficult because you don't know what's going on inside the hole. Whether the tool is broken, whether the coolant is coming out, reaching, or whether the chips are coming out or not. Are there any chatter marks? Unless and you have to stop and you have to take a magnifying lens and you have to peep inside the hole. Then only. So that's why what we do, we use reamer, you use boring bar, or we do broaching operation in which we are sure that we are going to get this dimension 60H7 and we are going to get a good tolerance. And if shaft is not going, then instead of shaft is not going inside, then instead of making the hole plus, or instead of making the instead of increasing the size of the hole, what we do, we reduce the size of the shaft. This is what is called as the hole based system. All right, because it is easy to do machining on the shaft. Always remember. So what is the sequence now? You have to decide upon the sequence. If I want to go for the 60H7. So what I have done here, I am using a drill 55. Again, it is not possible to drill diameter 55, but for the programming purpose, you cannot go on, writing the program. Otherwise, it will take, 1 hour or 1.5 hours just to write this program for 20 marks. In 60, how you are going to do this 68.7? First, you will do center dealing. Then center dealing के बाद you will do 10 dia dealing. Then you will do 30 dia. Then you will do 45 dia. Then you will go for 55. Then you will go for 59.5, and then you will go for 60. This is how you have to do in the industry, but not in the examination. Because in the examination, then you will have to write just for this one operation. You will have to use 6 tools: center till, then till dia 10, till dia 30, till dia 45, till dia 55. No, and then bore 59.5, and then finish. So in the examination, we expect that you just use one drill and then boring bar. That's all. You cannot use directly boring bar because there is no drilling. So you can just say drill diameter 59.5 and then boring bar. These two tools you have to write the program in the examination. But in the industry you cannot do like that. In the industry, and that's why we have, and in the industry only and any machining centers, you have magazine, isn't it? You have tool magazine. So in that we can use number of tools. You can use number of tools. 40 tools, 80 tools, magazines right there. So there is no limitations. Then this is another operation. One is this boring dia, another is say drill dia 10. Then third operation is say tapping M12. Hmm. So this is all you have to sequence properly. Programmer has to sequence. So you have two tap holes M12 by 1.75. M stands for metric. 12 is the major diameter, 1.75 is the pitch in millimeter, and then from this you can find out the drill diameter. Thumb rule is you just subtract the pitch from the major diameter. So 12 minus 1.75, so that gives you the drill size. So drill size you can go for this is 10.25. But if I use 10.25, my experience says that the thread will be very hard. So I oversize the hole. So that's why here the drill diameter is 10.8, which is given. Hmm. But you can very well use this rule, that is 12 minus 1.75. So the drill size will be 10.25. Here M10 by 1.5, the drill size will be 10 minus 1.5. So that will be 8.5. Here it is correct. Yeah. See, this was your component. This was your component. So in the component, this is what that is in the center. You have to do the bore. So now, how to do the drilling? So T1 M6. Sorry, T1 M6 is nothing but you are calling now tool number 1, and M6 is nothing but the tool change. M6 stands for the tool change. Tool change. M6 you can write, or you can write M06. You can write T1 or you can write T01. It's not going to give you error. G0, G90. G90 is absolute. See now in the examination you have to show your 0 point clearly. Program 0 point you have to show clearly. In when I studied, so that time, if I do not show the program 0 point, I used to get 0 marks out of 20. Remember, in spite of writing all the 4 pages or 5 pages at our time, this is how we studied. If I don't show the program 0 point, this is how the program 0 point is shown here. This symbol. In our time, when we studied, if I don't show the program 0 point, I used to get 0 marks. The examiner will not assess. No 0 point. He says, I don't understand. Where is your 0 point? You are not shown it. I cannot go ahead. So you must show. But nowadays the scene is changed. We don't go 0 as per the rules. We cut some marks. Definitely that means if you don't show program 0 point, don't expect 20 on 20, even though you are written, because at least minimum 1 mark to katega hi katega. If you don't show program 0 point. So program 0 point can be anywhere. No, it can be here or it can be here. Actually, it is convenient to take the program 0 point here. That is the point of symmetry on the workpiece. Point of symmetry on the workpiece. Alright, so now here it is program 0 point is here. So now all the dimensions will be with respect to this point. Hmm. This is also called as the workpiece 0 point. This is also called as the program 0 point. Machine 0 point or the home or the reference is somewhere different. So from machine 0 point to this, now you see this workpiece you are kept, assume that this is the table. This is the screen, my laptop screen which you are seeing is nothing but the table. Okay, imagine now on this table you have kept a workpiece here. This is my workpiece is. I am making the things very clear. See, this is my table, and on that workpiece is kept here. Hmm. So machine 0 point will be somewhere here. Machine 0 point. That is when you do homing or referencing. Machine 0 point will be somewhere here. That is say, see top right hand corner. This top right hand corner. Now you can keep the workpiece here. This is the table. You can keep here also. You can keep here also. Anywhere, isn't it? Anywhere. Normally we don't do like that because we have a picture. Because CNCs are used for mass production. But now machine should understand from this point where is my workpiece 0 point. From the reference point or from the machine home point, that is this, look at my arrow, where is my program 0 point is. And that is what is workpiece offset. That is what is called the workpiece offset. So before we begin, what we do, we use either a touch probe system, which is automatically, or we use a edge finder. With the help of that, we find out, that is edge finder, we touch here on the left hand side over here, and edge finder we touch here, okay, and we subtract the diameter of the edge finder so that we get this point, and your control display is on. Okay, see, you take the machine to the home point, that is here reference point. Okay, now you start the machine, bring your edge finder here in x direction and in y direction, touch here, okay, subtract that 5 mm if the diameter is 10, so that you will get the spindle center line, and that's what is your, and look at the screen, and that's what is your workpiece offset. Then now these dimensions in x and y direction, that you have to write it in workpiece offset page. Offset page. And there are workpiece offsets like G54, G55, G56, G57, G58, G59. So from G54 to G59 is the workpiece offset. So there you have to write where is your workpiece 0 point with respect to the machine 0 point in x direction and in y direction, and also in z direction where the face of the workpiece is. Because some workpiece may be 50 mm thick, some may be 500 mm thick. So that upper level of the workpiece has to be defined with respect to the machine Z0, with respect to the machine Z0. And this is what is called the workpiece offset, which is there in this. So G0 rapid, G90 is absolute, G54 is the workpiece offset. So you have, generally you have 6 offsets, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58 and 59. So you can mount 6 workpieces on a table, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And sabka workpiece offset you can give in 54, 55, 56 and so on, so that your machine can run unmanned, you know. So you don't have to stop. That is, this particular machining is done with respect to G54, then machine goes to another workpiece. So there you might have written G55, then it goes to the third, there you might have written G56. So by the time this machining is going on, then you can remove this workpiece and you can mount another workpiece. So the your spindle remains on continuously and your setup time is saved. So similarly, you have workpiece offset. So similarly, you have tool offset. So G43 is again important from examination point of view. So G43 is nothing but tool length compensation, or tool height compensation. As I told, see drill. Okay, some drill ka length maybe 50 mm, some drill ka length maybe 70 mm, some drill length maybe 100 mm. Similarly, end mill cutter. It's not necessary that all the end mills will have the same length. So now the machine must understand where the tool tip is in Z direction. We are talking about, by default, we are talking about vertical milling machine, vertical machining center by default. So the machine must know that we have defined our X0 and Y0 with respect to this point. So similarly, now you have a tool whose cutting point in Z direction has to be defined. Okay. So in this case, what we do, we bring that tool. Okay. This is what is setup time, during the setup time, and we touch the workpiece, huh, slowly. That is, we keep a piece of paper between the tool and the workpiece. We directly don't allow tool to touch the workpiece, otherwise the cutting edge will be broken. So we just keep the piece of, workpiece, a piece of paper, very small piece of paper, huh, and we just slide in the piece of paper. We just slide in the piece of paper and keep on touching the tool. So moment the paper is not sliding, that means we assume that the tool is touched. And generally the paper thickness is, 20 to 50 microns, fine. So that much error you can add in tool offset. Okay, so now you have called the tool number one, you have touched that workpiece, tool number one has touched. Now that dimension, that dimension you have to give in tool offset, and that is what is H01. So for tool number 2 you will use H02, for tool number 3 you will use H03. And how do you call upon the tool offset? With the help of the G43 command. How do you call workpiece offset? With the help of G54. Okay, so G43 H01, that means the control will look or will retrieve the tool length in Z direction from the tool offset library, from the tool offset library. G98 you know now, G98, G99. Okay, G81 you know the drilling. So in G98 the tool will retract to the initial position. G99 mein tool will just retract at a position of R5. That is, now in this case, if I want to talk, if I use G98, the tool will retract to 100 mm. If I do not use G98 or G99, the tool will retract to 5 mm above the workpiece surface, 5 mm. Okay, so now suppose if you have 4 holes here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you have a clamp, that day Swam was asking, if you have a clamp here, and generally the clamp thickness is say 20 mm or 25 mm, उसके ऊपर वो clamp के बीच में से bolt जाता है, उसके ऊपर nut रहता है, then bolt height भी रहता है. So in between you have an obstacle which is called as the clamp, and that height will be say around 50 mm. So if you are just moving tool from this point to this point at a level of 5 mm, then it's going rapidly, and it's going to dash the clamp or the bolt or the nut. So that's why it is safe, to move the tool up, maybe 100 or maybe 50. 50 is just sufficient. All right, and that's why we use G98. But if the upper face is clear, that is, if there are no, clamps at all, then you can very well go for G99. You can very well move your tool rapidly above the workpiece surface at a level of 5 mm. Absolutely no problem. But be safe, be a safe programmer. See now, so that's incremental. So G80 is nothing now. G98, G81. Now the drilling has been done. How much is the drilling now? Z minus 25. 25 mm the drilling here, and this has been done at this. That is X200 and Y is 150. 200 and Y 150. So 25 mm deep drilling has been done. Now G80 is nothing but a cancellation of the cycle, can cycle. G80 is nothing but a cancellation of the can cycle. G91 and G28 X0 Y0 Z0, this you have to use combined. This means reference return. G28 is nothing but the reference return or the home position. Now your tool is 5 mm up, that is this drill, 55 mm drill, it is 5 mm up above the workpiece. In this N60, what happens? Your drill returns to the reference position. See, remember, in machining center or in milling machine, you have to take the tool to the reference position because your tool change will not happen at any distance. It has to happen it will happen only at a specific position, and that specific position is nothing but a reference point. When you take the machine to the reference point, there only the tool change will happen. So whenever you are calling upon the tool change command, T1 M6 or T2 M6, you must take the tool to the reference point, and this is what the G28 X0 Y0 Z0 command में होता है. Now definitely you understand now. I have taken the tool to the reference point. That means there is a tool change command. Okay, this you can write in the main program. It is allowed. English language is allowed. You can write whatever you want. So with the help of this, you understand. Now here you understand that yes, I am using a drill 55 dia. If you don't give this comment, then you have to remember tool number one क्या है, tool number two क्या है. So it's a good practice, to write this in the bracket. That is semi-finishing boring bar 59.5. 59.5. Even if you use now here this drill 59.5 and then go for boring bar, that is also fine. Try to make your program length short. At the same time, it should be practical also. You cannot program length. Rani sir बोला है, मतलब directly you cannot use boring bar 60 का. It's not possible. So obviously T2 is nothing but tool number 2. M6 is nothing but a tool change. Yes, now you have positioned your tool here, G90, G54, X200, Y150. That is, it comes here rapidly. G0 means rapid. G43, that means it has taken offset from library, and boring bar, the length compensation or the length offset is given in H02, is written in H02. There is a something called the tool offset page, tool offset library mein, where you have to write this tool length. That is all the tools, 10 tool hai, 15 tools. During the setup, whatever tools you have a tool list. The programmer has given the tool list. ये जो आपके ऊपर 10 tools है, okay. Then there is a senior most or experienced worker, or many times engineers also work actually during the setup time. There is nothing wrong. So he sets all the 10 tools properly. He takes all the tool length compensation for all the 10 tools. He sees that the length has been mentioned properly against H01, H02, H03, and he also ensures that the tools are also inserted properly. This is also very important. आपने टूल नंबर 1 का डेटा दिया है H01 में, और टूल नंबर 1 आपने टूल नंबर 2 में डाला मैगजीन में. Again accident may happen, accident may happen, and this type of foolishness, this type of malpractices happens in the industry. If somebody wants to spoil your name, programmers names, then purposely this mischief is done. And this has been, I have seen with my own eyes. They simply say sorry, अरे भूल गया करके. ऐसे. So now G85 is nothing but reaming cycle, but he has used this for boring bar. Okay, ठीक है चलता है, but if it is boring operation, you cannot use G85 because boring bar means you have to use boring cycle, that is G86. And what happens in G86? Boring bar is retracted 1 mm or 2 mm and then it is moved up, so that your cutting touch, your cutting tool ka point is not in contact with the bore. Otherwise, what happens? It will create a line mark on the bore. That's why G85, even though it is shown here, please do not use it. Please do not use it. So you have to use G86, and it is very simple to use G86. It is not very difficult. It is not very difficult. So that was your core drilling and boring example. Somebody wants to enter at this time. Then next is your finish boring. Once you are familiar, once you understood this tool, then this is simple. Finish bore diameter 6. This is tool number 3. Same story. M6, that is tool chain. G54 X200 Y150 G43. That is it has taken the tool length or tool height. Finish bore. See again you have to use G86, not G76. See now, yes, this is how your G86 cycle will be. This is how your G86 cycle will be. On this particular control, G86 was not available, so that's why he has used G76. Now what has happened here? He has gone 25 mm down. R5 is nothing but tool will come rapidly 5 mm above the workpiece, and then Q.5 is nothing but the retract. So the boring bar will retract 0.5, and then it will move up rapidly. Then it will move up rapidly above the workpiece surface. And remember, as I told, there is something called as the spindle orientation. There is something called as the spindle orientation. This is boring bar has to be kept, has to be inserted at a particular position only. Remember, boring bar. If you are using G86 or G76 boring cycle, if you are using it, then you have to insert your boring bar at a particular position. That is what is called as the orientation. Orientation. If you do not insert at that particular position, then when it retracts, when it retracts, it will dig inside the bore. It will dig inside the bore, and accident can happen. If, of course, if the boring bar size is very small, like suppose if you are, you know, doing a bore of say 60, hmm, then it won't matter. But if it is in reverse direction, if it is in reverse direction, and if you have put your boring bar wrong, yeah, yeah, yeah. Doing that example is important. So if you have put boring bar in a wrong position, let us say exactly in opposite, 180-degree opposite, then it's going to dig inside the bore. It's going to dig inside the bore, uh, and you are now what retracting the boring bar rapidly. So it is going to cut a slot, 0.5 D. If it is able to cut, fine. Otherwise, the boring bar may get damaged. Okay, so Q.5 means it will retract by 0.5 radially, and then it returns rapidly up 5 mm up above the workpiece. Then you know very well. Now this is G28 X0 Y0 Z0 means return to the reference. And now what is going to happen? Tool change. Hmm? Tool change. Now there is hmm, um, next operation. Now center का operation हो गया. All right. Now you are calling tool number 4 M6, that is tool change. This is for the workpiece offset, Now, tool number 4 ka data is given like this, G43804, then fine, Z minus 25. This was at 200 150 board, that is center ka. Now this is at some other position, X100 Y255, one hole, alright. Then another hole as 275 Y150, Y50, alright. Then tool number 5 is same, then tapping. Only tapping now, you have to use the different cycle. Tapping mein cycle is different. This M29 please don't use. Instead of that you use M03, or you can use M13. M13 is nothing but spindle start clockwise and the coolant on. See now tapping G84. G84. Now remember here how this feed 175 has come. See this, I was told these holes are being done now. This hole, this hole, this hole. I don't know whether it is visible or not. huh? And there are 4 holes here. hmm? So ये जो holes है, these are M10 का holes on a PCD of 100, 4 holes, and these are M12, 12 का hole. These are 2 holes. These are the 2 holes. So this is your M12 tapping, that is 2 holes at a distance of this, which has been done already. The holes has been done, drilled already. So this is your tapping, G84 tapping. Now how this 175 has come? The pitch of this M12 is 1.75 if you remember, and the spindle is running at 100 RPM. So 100 into 1.75, that is 175. If the pitch is 2 mm, then 100 into 2, so that will be 200. So in tapping cycle, the examiner will see this, how we are giving the feed rate. Okay, so now you have to do this 4 holes. So in this particular component, we have done a bore of 60. Then we have done drilling and tapping of these two. So for doing a bore, we use 3 tools. For doing this, we use 2 tools, 3 tools actually. Here also center drill, then drill 10.75, and then tap. And now for this, so this is 8.5, that is for M10, tool number 7. Okay, so first T1, T2, T3, that is for the center hole, then T4, T5, T6, that is for this M12, and now T7, this is the drill diameter 8.5. So 2 tools, T7 and T8. Since this hole diameter is small, we are not center drill, but it is always a good practice to do the center drilling. So again, tool change, T7 M6, X150 Y150, that is this hole. X150 किधर आएगा? X150 Y150 will be this. This is 150, and X150 will be this. It is very simple. Once you understand one block, then other blocks are very simple. Again, try to write like this. You call tool number 7 and enter his data, tool number 7 ka data in H7. So that is easy to remember. You call tool number 7 and you can write his data in H50 also, 51 also, no problem. But then it's become difficult to link. Machine will go as per this, whatever you are written. If you are written H15 here, it will take the length whichever is written in H15. Okay, so G90. Now since we are used G99, so that means we will retract it to 5 mm only, because now drill यही पे घूम रहा है, isn't it? Then clamps are here, clamps are here. So since the clamps were here, that time we were using G98. That is, we were retracting the tool above 50 mm. But now since the drill has to be moved here only, obviously कौन सा भी clamp इधर तक आएगा नहीं. And since we are done boring here, this has to be free from clamp. So we are using G90. So there will be little bit saving on the machining time. So G99 means the tool will come up to 5 mm above the surface. Then next will be 250. See, remember now, y will remain at 150 here. Y will remain at 150. Then next is your x200, y200. Then one more point, y100. Here he has lifted the tool above, maybe because of the clamp, and then return to the reference. Return to the reference. So this drilling of 8.5 is completed. Now this will be the tapping, that is tool number 8. That is what will be the size? M10. M10. Again same, blah blah blah, 150, G43, H08, M29. Now cycle use will be 84. Now how this feed rate has 150? Remember the pitch is 1.5 and the spindle is running at 100. So 100 into 1.5. So that will be 150. Again you give all the points, and that was the end of this program. So in this particular workpiece, what we have done, we have used 3 tools for the samples. We have that is 55 ka, then 59.5, and then 55 ka drill, 59.5 ka rough boring bar, and then 60 ka finish boring bar. So for 55.5 drill we use G81. Then for rough boring and finish boring, here we are used 85, but actually you have to use 76 or 86. Then 3 tools for this, that is center drill and tap, and then 2 tool for this. So altogether 3 plus 3 plus 2, so there were 8 tools. If you have any doubt, you please ask, because I want to start now next year. uh, and if you have any doubt, you please ask. If you want to leave, you can leave.
So,
Yes, please. Yeah.
so what kind of questions
Yes,
will
Sheldon.
come for the UT?
The pattern will be like question. There will be 2 marks questions, 5 questions. So that
Okay.
10 marks. So 2 marks question means it is expected that you should write at least 4 5 lines. It can be differentiate or it can be
So it's
defined.
only theory, no?
Yeah, mostly theory. Because see, that's what I'm telling. Question number one, 2 marks. So program cannot be asked. Maybe like explain M05, explain G81, isn't it? Such kind of. Then question number two. So that's 10 marks. You will have ample of options. And then question number two will be short note. So again there you have that will be 5 marks each. So 5 into 2. So there again you have to answer 2 questions. This will be brief 1 page answer. 5 marks means at least 1 page you have to write. You know. So that will be short note. You know, like it can have problems also
So
for
will you
yeah.
be sending the question bank?
Sorry,
So will you be
question bank.
sending any question bank?
But it is too now we have time. No, today is 7th. No, this paper is on 24th,
Yes, sir.
23rd. CAD can seal.
Yes, sir. But you'll be sending, right? Yes, sir.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay,
At
thank
least
you.
from CAM, I will do. CAD, you will have to request Sudhakar sir. Hello, Sheldon. Hello, Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
From CAM, I will
Yes,
give the
sir.
question line. For the CAD,
Okay,
you will have to
okay.
ask Sudhakar sir. All right.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay, then. We'll call it a day. Thank you so much. चलो. तिला दिलंस का? पण काय खायला? ते मोबाईल घे.
माझी ओढणी प्लीज
हे
घेतली
मास्क.
प्लीज
ठीक आहे
घेतली
तुझ्याकडे.
see